from waiting for the end to happen for the DCEU to getting a very promising film instead. The upcoming Flash film feels like it'll be able to pull off a miracle, but not without help of multiple Batmen. For instance, not many were expecting Ben Affleck would be making a return as Batman, but he is. It's true that Affleck's portrayal as Batman is not the most popular of the ton, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it still was a great one. Actually is a great one, since there's still some of his left. But the real reason to bring him back isn't his popularity, it's the fact that he's the original Batman. Let me explain. Zack Snyder created a cinematic universe that consisted of legendary Justice League superheroes. In that universe, it was Ben Affleck who was introduced as Batman. Much like Henry Cavill played Superman, Gal Gadot played Wonder Woman, and Jason Momoa played Aquaman. Similarly, Ezra Miller, who's still the Barry Allen, also known as Flash in this universe, and to create that sense of continuity, it was important to have Affleck play Batman in some capacity. He's already been established through his appearances in previous Zack Snyder films, making him a natural starting point for Ezra's Flash. Director Andy Muschietti also pointed out that having Affleck as the baseline helped establish a sense of familiarity for the audience. This was even more important, given that the Flash movie would be setting out to introduce the concept of multiple universes.
Flash is back!
People who have seen the trailer can understand that there are variants of different people in the movie, so having the original Batman set the stage was extremely important. This also allows for the studio to introduce new actors or variants of a specific character and allow fans of all of them to coexist. Also, it kills the debate of which actor was better since everyone gets their own place in the story.
Let's not stand on ceremony here, Mr. Wayne.
This is particularly important for managing franchises with such vast appeal and history as the DC Universe. Alternate dimensions will also allow variation in tone in different movies for the same DC Universe. You know what I'm talking about? How most of what we see is dark and gloomy in almost all movies in the DCEU? Yeah, that. We've already seen this approach work very well for other cinematic universes, such as that of Marvel and Sony's animated film universe from the film Into the Spider-Verse. But you must be wondering why I keep linking multiverses, variants, and Batman again and again. For that, I'd say you should go and watch the trailer, because believe it or not, Michael Keaton, wait for it, is back as Batman. You heard that right. In all his Batman glory, we saw Keaton take a dive while flicking his cape in the back. It was just something. We'd been hearing rumors about him getting recast for the role, but it was never actually confirmed until recently. But then DCEU saw a major overhaul, with the upper management getting a complete reshuffle, and James Gunn getting to the top. And ever since that happened, at least I'd lost hope that we'd get to see Michael Keaton donning the suit of Batman once again, especially since Gunn was canceling DCU's projects left and right. It's under his leadership that we also got back Henry Cavill as Superman and then lost him just a few weeks later. So yeah, not many people had high expectations about Keaton, but then the trailer happened, and safe to say, most DC fans were blown away.
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
It wasn't just a small reference to his character, he was there in flesh and blood, wearing his iconic Batman suit from the 80s. And honestly, it was a smart move given how bad the condition of the DCEU has been for the past. Like, imagine this, we've been hearing about the Flash movie since 2014, the same year when the TV series about the same superhero started. Ever since then, the series has had 9 seasons, while eventually also announcing its end. But the Flash movie still almost there. So between all the changes that the studio was seeing, releasing the movie and hoping to get people to see it required an extra punch. And that's obviously what the writers and directors had in mind. We wouldn't have been getting Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton both in the same movie. Under the new leadership of James Gunn, it's obvious that the DC Universe has taken a different direction. As in, what he's got in store for the DCU or this movie makes no sense, except for to set up the reboot. So in a situation like that, there's no harm in trying to pour in everything they've got, right? After all, it's not going to matter in the end because the storyline's going to change completely. But the fans that come in for this movie might stick around for the next phase if they like the effort, right? I mean, it sounds like a good plan, but it gets more interesting. Reports suggest that an end credits scene featuring him was cut from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Not just that, he also had a significant role in the cancelled Batgirl movie too. Even though older DC fans might feel disappointed about the stories they won't get, it's still something to have him back, right? All I can think of right now is Keaton definitely had a more important role in the DCU phase that's about to get nuked. Replacing that with mere optics isn't something that great. But again, that's all judging from what James Gunn has told us or what we've seen in the trailer. What if he's actually here to stay? You can't deny the fact that he's already from an alternate universe in the trailer. So what if he's still an important character in the new phase? Only time will tell. But for now, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the fun while it lasts. And while we're on the topic of Batman, do you think it's just Affleck and Keaton that we'll see in the movie? Because we all know they aren't the only guys that have played Batman. We've also got George Clooney, Christian Bale, and more recently, Robert Pattinson. By the looks of it, it doesn't look like we'll have Clooney or Bale coming back as Batman in this movie. At least that's what the trailer tells us. Because even if there was a slight chance of that happening, there would have been some sort of hint somewhere, which also would have been decoded by someone by now. But I still can't say. Maybe there's something massive hidden in the movie that we aren't aware of. We've already seen it happen once before in the case of Spider-Man No Way Home. And how exciting was that? Imagine getting to experience something like that once again. It'd be legendary. But let's keep our expectations to a minimum so that we don't get disappointed. But I must clarify one thing. There's like a 99.9% chance that Robert Pattinson will not be in the movie as Batman, even though Barry's connection to the Speed Force would have allowed for Pattinson's Batman to make an appearance in The Flash. But DC is on another trajectory here. They believe that certain projects like the Batman films by Matt Reeves would be completely separate from the interconnected DC universe. This category, known as Elseworlds, includes Todd Phillips' Joker movie and Cartoon Network's Teen Titans Go animated series, and it's a label that has been taken directly from the comics. These stories are set apart from the main universe, creating their own unique narratives. I think it's probably better that Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy with Pattinson remains independent. There you have it. That's all the news about how all the Batman will be coming together in the new Flash movie.